made it to Chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Prime Spine Consulting. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 323 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I'm your co-host Luke Millette, and here's your host, Jim Chester.
So today we had the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Jamie Marshall, and if you want to hear us discuss the integrity of chiropractic, stay tuned. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast, episode 323. Today I got Jamie Marshall. I'm really excited to have you on our show today. But before we start talking chiropractic stuff, I'm going to tell people some more chiropractic stuff. And I'll open that up by telling people that our show, the big why behind it, is to support the beautiful profession of chiropractic. We do support subluxation-based chiropractic. We do support the sacred trust and protect the sacred trust. If you guys don't know what that is, use your Google fingers and go check it out. And if you don't know what a subluxation is, you might want to do that too. And we are the free speech protection podcast. We do protect free speech with our show. So we want to promote chiropractic from above down, inside out. And we want to support the profession from today till forever. So Dr. Jamie, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Merry Christmas and whatever, religion, denomination that you guys come from.
That's right.
We support you too.
That's right. Happy holidays. There you go.
There we go. I do like Christmas though. And I do think that understanding the Christmas spirit is something really important, but also understanding the chiropractic spirit will amplify the Christmas spirit.
That's right. That's right.
Because chiropractic turns the lights on, right?
That's right. Amen. Power on.
Yeah. And there's just so much powerful stuff that chiropractic does. And I know that you have a story being a baby, a little toddler.
Yep.
Do you want to share your story with our audience and tell people about how you got into the profession?
Sure, I'd love to. So I was 3 years old when I had my very first adjustment. I was that sick kid with ear, nose, and throat issues, the dark circles, crying, always in pain. My mom went the medical route like most, and we found, I needed tubes and antibiotics, and of course that all failed me. And they were threatening a second set of tubes. And my mom was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to go see, a chiropractor. Well, kind of a backstory. My mom is from Louisiana. And her aunt was very big into holistic medicine, which of course was voodoo, back in, I guess this is the 40s and 50s, right? So she would go with my aunt. And when the chiropractor got out of jail, my mom would get adjusted as a little girl. So it was a big deal for my mom to come back to chiropractic in the 80s when I was a little girl. And I'm so grateful because it is the trajectory of my whole life. So after basically one adjustment, my mom said I had color rush to my face. I just relaxed on the table. If those who adjust have seen that in their patients, it's pretty amazing. But my mom had that experience. And of course, I don't remember much, but she said I wasn't screaming as much. I was able to sleep. Got off all my medication. And of course, avoided the second surgery. And so I'm the youngest of 5. And I'm sure I had food allergies and all the gamut that we know about today. But my mom was like, eat what's in front of you. Good luck. So I've always had ear, nose, and throat issues my whole life. But I will say, because of chiropractic, I've never had major infections. I'm definitely breathing well and sleeping well. And I played college sports. So I know that chiropractic has given me the health and the structure to be successful. And I'm just very grateful for my journey from age of 3, because there's not too many people that can say they started that early. Of course, now it's getting more popular, but back then it was not as popular. So
yeah, I love it because there's a saying within chiropractic is that chiropractic gives you life to your years and years to your life.
That's right.
And you are like the embodiment of that.
Mm-hmm. And I avoided a lot of injuries in sports. Like a lot of female athletes tear their ACL in high school and have scoliosis. And, I see it all the time in my practice. And I'm always like, I wish we could have started earlier with them, just knowing what I know. And I don't know my life without this medicine. So it forever, I don't know. I would be sad if we didn't have chiropractic because it has helped me in so many other ways. I'm 39, no medication in my body, rocking it out, seeing 70 plus patients a day. I love this profession. So very grateful.
I love it because chiropractic is cradle to grave care, or some people like to say from womb to tomb.
Womb to tomb. That's right.
Yeah. So it's I was just on another interview earlier today, and he's like, I have gotten women pregnant before that weren't my wife. It sounds funny.
I know.
But it's true. Chiropractic can help with conception.
That's right.
And who would have known?
Like, that's right. That's right.
Pretty biblical stuff right there.
That's right. Nerve could stop that, I love that about chiropractic. So.
And you're right. Like, it doesn't, like I watched one of my friends, they made a movie 6 or 7 years ago, but it was about horses getting adjusted.
Okay.
And and it was about like the body responding without being able to speak. And the placebo effect is it doesn't matter if it's a baby or a horse, they don't talk.
Right.
So you can see it, and it's seeing as believing, and function and functionality is the real outcome. So you don't have to, a baby doesn't have to tell you that they feel better. They stop crying.
That's right. That's a good point. I love that. Yeah. It's such a powerful truth is, because I think within our profession, getting parents to be okay with kids getting adjusted is still a gray area. And so, it's getting better for sure. And I definitely love all the chiropractors before me that have set that path. But seeing, we take care of families. And so of course, most likely you start with the adult, and then you tell them you take care of kids, and then they build that trust with you. And then their kids start to come, and then they just go, why didn't I do this sooner? And I'm like, it's okay. You got to tell the next family to get going, don't wait. Get your kids in here. So it's pretty amazing to see the life changes.
Absolutely. Full family care. Go get yourself a family chiropractor. All of you, even if you're a chiropractor, go find one.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
So 70 plus patients a day. What are you doing, and how is that happening?
Okay. Well, we use Integrity Doctors as our main protocol for building our practice. So it is high volume. Our marketing strategy is pretty diverse, but we do have a practice representative that helps us with, market and hands and feet, be out in the community, expos, lunch and learns. They basically do the marketing, but they're patients, and these guys have a powerful testimony, and they love chiropractic. So it works, patient, like you don't have to be a doctor to sell what you do. You just have to be someone who's very passionate about chiropractic. And so, we've hit over 10,000 patients through our clinic in less than 10 years. And, we're just here to help anybody and everybody. We do take insurance, which obviously is a big appeal to a lot of people because they pay a lot for their benefits. Insurance is a tough one because it dictates a lot of care, and it's very unfair to chiropractic. But we do as we can to use their benefits. When they run out of benefits or we start to lose medical necessity because they're getting better, then we teach wellness, and wellness then becomes our cash practice on the back end. And we just help people stay healthy. And that's really the heart is, through the Integrity Doctor system is, people come in because they hurt. They don't realize that chiropractic can be a lifestyle. And then we have progress reports and videos and things that we show for education. And, we have, right now we're building our wellness practice. There's some lulls because of COVID, but it's coming back. So we have, roughly about a 35% wellness practice. And my goal is 50. So we're going to try to get to 50%. But every person that's been coming in, I'm like, are you scheduled for 2022? Let's get you on the books. And so that's what we do. So we basically do placeholders. I stopped penalizing missed visits. I just get busier, I could be mad that somebody canceled on me, or I could, have 5 people on hold going, can I get in today? Can I get in today? Yep. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's rock it. So
I'm going to help you. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Go to skedlife.com.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Okay.
It's worth every penny you'll spend on it.
Okay.
Patients can actually reschedule themselves in real time.
Ah, okay.
and they'll never make another phone call to you again.
Wow. That's cool. Look at it. Okay.
Yeah, skedlife.com.
Okay.
Dr. Eric Kowalski, he's out of Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Amazing guy. They've sponsored our show for a while.
Nice.
But Sked
Okay.
Life will help you out tremendously with this reactivation campaigns,
Yeah.
specials. You get a chance to text them in real time also. I can't say enough about people that have supported our brand, but that's one company that has so much. Here you go. One of your words, integrity.
Yeah. Integrity. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of integrity, and
That's
they help make people make a lot of money.
That's
So,
it. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about going more automated? Do you think that's still a personal way to do chiropractic, or is it the only way the future's going?
I'll tell you, the more that you can get your front desk person off of the phone, the better.
Okay.
Because they're there to serve the clients that are in the office,
Yeah.
not to be a telemarketer.
Okay. That's
So
fair.
I think that the more you can have passive communication that's active with your patient base,
Yeah.
90% of every text message is open and read.
Right.
If you can take the stress off of people from feeling guilt, shame, or fear about missing their appointment or rescheduling their appointment, say they get stuck in traffic, they can reschedule themselves for 30 minutes without ever calling your office, without ever canceling.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah. I mean, I guess everything's going automated. So it's like we're losing that personal touch, but you're right. I guess it frees up other things. So
you got to go look in obvious places, go where people are spending their time.
Right.
And I think that if you ask me as somebody that's in this profession and helps a lot of people with different stuff, I think that that's something is to serve people to where they spend their time.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the cool thing about what we do here. I don't know if you knew this about what I've done in the past, but I've done 600 chiropractic screenings in 2.5 years.
Okay.
So when you're talking about this community event coordinator,
yeah,
like this person that's out there boots on the street, like type person, I did that for a long time. We just finished up in Alaska at the state fair this year and did 665 new patients scheduled in 14 days.
That's awesome.
Right. So when you talk about like these aspirational like values of like seeing more people, I want that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
And that's why, once again, the word integrity, that's why this show has such great appeal, is because I'm not just a marketer. I didn't even know I was a chiropractic marketer until I did 600 events. Okay.
Well, yeah. Like I get the badge, right? Yeah.
like chiropractic marketing is a thing, but like you earn it from being in the trenches, I think. And then, we get online, these automated things where people want to run ads for you. But they're not even chiropractic patients most of the time. These agencies, they've never worked in an office. They've never seen what the inside of a facility looks like. They wouldn't know why somebody should have x-rays. But I think that that's really what makes this show powerful, is because we have been in, as they say, we've been in the trenches.
Yeah.
And we can show a lot of appreciation for the practitioners too. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Let's talk more about you. The practitioner, the busy chiropractor. What are you doing to stay healthy? How do you take care of yourself?
Yeah. So I do a modified keto diet, which always helps with, the weight loss and also just energy. It's the holidays, so I haven't been at great, but no, I mean, really for me, it's just, waking up with purpose obviously gets the energy going for the day. Have my daily habits, just getting up, stretching, getting ready for the day. Purpose, serotonin release, because you're helping lots of people. And then when I get done at the end of the day, I do check my emails and do a lot of the business management, because I am the owner of 2 practices. But I guess, for me, I sleep well. Like I guess I could go exercise more and do things like that, but my exercise is my adjustment. I'm a very physical adjuster, body drops, you name it. And so, I mean, everyone's like, you must work out. And I'm like, you guys are my Gold's Gym. I probably could go do more. I did, high intensity interval training for a while, but I just, I think for my adrenals and my thyroid and some other things that I'm always monitoring, just staying constant to my daily activities. That's what I do. So that's how I stay healthy, drink lots of water, take my supplements. So that's about it.
So I think that's really cool stuff for people to listen to, because we all want to put a stress on ourselves
Mm-hmm.
from what we're not doing.
Right.
And we're like, we're not doing enough, but I did work 12 hours a day.
Yes.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Prime Spine Consulting. Let's hustle. I did work 10 hours a day, but I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes gives us like this funk of attitude. So you are enough, and thank you for doing what you do. That's something that we have to do more of, is supporting others through positivity. So thank you.
Thank you.
You talked a little bit about having a strategy for how you got to getting 70 visits a day. How do you stay plugged into your community? What are some of your favorite ways to stay connected?
Well, I mean, we're in with the chambers, which is kind of an easy, way to stay with the business community, keep your name relevant in the area. But we give back. We do a lot of philanthropic marketing. We just recently gave $3,000 to our community assistance center in Montgomery County here in the North Houston area. And, just blessing others, givers gain kind of mentality, but we do a lot of philanthropic. We do the practice representative position. Networking is crazy busy in Houston. I mean, we have tons of opportunities. So, it's hard to begin all of them, but we try to visit as many as we can and then try to stay involved with maybe 2 to 3. Before I even opened my doors in 2012, I went to as many networking groups as I could. And, I'd always say, well, my calendar's full till March, but let me know if you want to be a new patient, So it's like you said, Chiro hustle, man. You just get excited, want to help people. You're out there. So networking has been big for us, involving ourselves financially in the community, but also just like in the parades and, on billboards, and just, we're here to help. We're blasting it everywhere. So
yeah, brand identity, marketing, believing in what you deliver is huge. So I think that there's a lot to be said about that, and making yourself relevant in the Movers and Shaker Club, jumping into the young professional groups and BNI chapters and chamber stuff, like all that stuff builds integrity long term with a brand.
You got it. Exactly right.
And it's not them necessarily that need you. It's their cousins, uncles, neighbors, mom.
Right. That's right.
That they're going to be like, I got this chiropractor and this thing that shows up and talks about like spinal decay.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to go see them.
Yeah. Good. Here's her car.
And then the guy that runs the car lot and the mechanic becomes your #1 referral source.
That's right. Like, I haven't taken care of this woman, but she loves me.
I've never been into that lady's office, but I've sent her 13 car crashes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a few of those.
But that's how it happens.
It's so true. Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of it's word of mouth and trust. And then, if they send someone first and you do a good job, then it's like, oh, okay, now I feel more confident.
But that's just it, is you never know who your #1 referral source would be.
That's right.
They could be the most curmudgeon, angry person that comes in through your door.
That's right.
And then before you know it, they've sent their whole family in.
That's right. I have had those turnarounds. Yeah. I'm like, wow, we hated each other. No, I'm just joking. I'm always like, for me, when I talk to patients in consultations, like we do ask, what's your family history? Anybody else with back pain? And, we try to make those connections in day 1. And then, by day 2, I do my report of findings. And then I'm always asking them, who in your family could use care like this? Because, look how thorough we are and what we found for you. Could somebody in your family or your friends could use this? And then on day 3, they watch this little video on basically how to take care of themselves the rest of their life. That it's called How to Stay Young, but they've retitled it to Living Well. And it's about 8 minutes, and it just reminds them, like, you have a chance to get older. If with that chance, you're going to lose mobility. And hey, by the way, do you have a friend or family that could also hear this as well? Because we're all aging together, and nobody likes wheelchairs or walkers. So it's just a really powerful kind of connection I do through the first 3 visits. And then every visit after that, I'm asking, so proxy consults.
Well, that takes us to another one of these things that's
Yeah.
important to say in the chiropractic space is you're either going to invest in your health now or pay for sickness later.
Yeah. Amen.
And,
It's so true.
and I don't care who it is. I don't care what walk of life you're in. You have to absolutely take care of your body. Otherwise it will not take care of you.
That's right. Listen to your body. I mean, that's really big, even with what you eat, your activity level, like I don't have any back problems, knock on wood, but it doesn't mean I don't have back pain occasionally, right? So like when I go work in the garage, I'm gonna put my back brace on, but I'm only gonna do it for a couple hours. I'm not gonna go lazy. I just want that extra support so I don't injure myself. But I know what to do. And I think as chiropractors, that's the cool part about our profession is we can start getting patients to think bigger. Like, yeah, you can go lay on ice, but what if you were proactive? You got adjusted and then you're going to do this activity, wear a back brace, and then make sure your core stays strong, and then look at your diet. And like, it's so cool to be a well-rounded practitioner for this person because you can hopefully save them from major injuries, or breakdown or, other things like that. But
back to another chiropractic thing, the power that made the body heals the body.
Amen.
And if you're smart enough to know how to take care of the body as a resource, it doesn't become a liability.
That's right. That's right. Minimize risk, I like to say.
Yeah. And practice healthy habits.
Amen.
Yeah. So I love this conversation with you today. I am curious though, like when at this juncture of the interview, we always ask, well, not always, but I like to ask this question as future pacing you into like, what are the kids going to get with chiropractic in 20 years? Like, how is the profession going to serve the future community?
Yeah, that's a great question. I guess just thinking about future for chiropractic, I mean, I'm trying to get involved with my state association, and I definitely want us to have access, and I don't know if I want scope change, but I definitely want it not to be taken away. So I'm going to fight for what we do. I look at the places like the Joint, things that are growing in rapid numbers. I think their model is something that everyone kind of goes back and forth on. Do we like it? Do we not? It works, but I think what I like about it is just access for patients. And then of course they have the money to market and keep chiropractic relevant as far as on billboards and radio stations and all that. So that's pretty cool for our profession. What's hard, if I can be very honest on the show, is that, I would like to own 5 clinics one day. I'm on clinic number 2. So I can have that same vision of access, but hiring doctors has become, I think it's always been a problem, but I think now, so with the Joint just kicking butt and taking names, they're able to offer more. And so, here we are, we're living on cash flow, trying to keep 2 clinics running and, building their production so that I can pay more, and students are coming out of school going, oh, I can make 80,000 at the Joint. And I'm like, is that the style of care you want? So now I'm going on purpose versus, money. So it's been kind of hard. We're trying to find great docs that want to work and want to help people and see volume and, be in a family practice, I guess is the better way to put it, without memberships and things like that. It's not what we do. And it's harder because I can't offer the big dollars, So I think as a profession, there's a lot of struggles because we all want more for this profession, but there's so many like levels of, stress that as I try to grow, I'm like, how do I do more for this profession? How do I compete, I guess? And then we're all different techniques. We're all different styles. We're all different. I mean, it's just chiropractic is its own unique entity, And so it's like, am I doing it wrong? Are they doing it wrong? Are we doing it all right? Is it okay to be different? So then you kind of start questioning, I'm 10 years in this and I'm going, I've only been in my box. And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? So you start to have that seeds of self-doubt because, you want to do more and it's like, are you doing enough? And so, but I think it motivates me too. It's not like I'm crying over here, but you just makes you want to do more,
Well, access points for marketing. The bigger the market, the bigger the marketing.
Yeah.
And I think that when you diversify chiropractic down, the power of the adjustment doesn't matter what the clinic name is when somebody gets the lights turned on. But you are so right about early on talking about, I don't need to go work out. This is Mike Gold's gym. Right. Well, what also happens when people do jump into an adjustment mill like the joint,
Yeah.
and they're doing 100 150 adjustments a day.
Right.
They are the pro athlete, and their body does break down,
Yeah.
and they generally speaking will not get ownership opportunity in any of those facilities.
Right.
So getting on board with I would say more of a mom and pop style clinic upstart, there's a lot of benefit to that,
Sure.
because there's profit sharing, there's opportunity to be partners. There's a lot more potentiality for growth and inclusion, rather than just being another foot soldier in an adjusting bay.
Yeah, exactly right.
So that gives some clarity to people out there, like, well, I could just jump out of school and go make the 80K. Well, yeah, you can go do that.
Right.
But there might be limited fulfillment.
That's right. And that's what I'm looking for, people that are purpose driven and really want to make a difference, and not be afraid of work. I mean, that's hard, but it's out there. I know it is.
So let's talk a little bit more about how some of your heroes maybe are some people you've looked up to within the chiropractic profession that have given you some help along the way, or some inspiration.
Yeah. This is where I would like to do better. Like I said, I get to work and I'm kind of in my four walls. And I think like most chiropractors, we just get kind of nestled in and not really expanding ourselves. In the last year, through Integrity Doctors and some of my mentors in that group, I hired on an IT group, Dan McCoy with Tech Subluxation, and he's pro chiropractic, and he's not a chiropractor, but he's very much wants us to succeed. And so, we've had a few talks of, how to think about the business differently. And so I think in the last year and a half to 2 years, I've been exposed to more thought patterns that I never really was told about, so it was kind of fun to know that I'm growing myself. I've done some life coaching. And so, I really want to meet more mentors, I guess is where I'm going with this. So like, obviously we've met through Facebook, and I'd like to meet more people in the profession. And gosh, I know there's like Dr. Eaton and Dr. Barbara. There's lots of women chiropractors out there that are really trying to coach and be there for female chiropractors. And of course, I'm listening and just trying to see what they're doing. And I think if I could, like, how they always say, if you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be? And I know this is going to sound weird, but to me, it's George Vanderbilt with the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina. I went and visited, and I was just in awe of his vision for a 4-acre home, how big he dreamed. How he was, I think, in his early 20s when he built it. And then he had hospitality as his main goal, because obviously he threw a lot of parties and stuff, but he treated his staff well. And he seemed like an all-around charismatic guy. And, sometimes people put a lot of fluff because it's a sales thing, but it sounds like through history, like he truly was that character, someone that you could just sit and talk to. And he had a beautiful library and world traveler. And, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, I want mentors, obviously, that have experience in just the well-roundedness of life. I think that's where I'm going next. And like, I'm going to a Dave Ramsey, entrepreneur leadership thing in May. And my husband, Aaron, and I are business owners together. He's not a chiropractor, but we decided, hey, we're going to start investing in ourselves. And so we're going to go outside of chiropractic for a little bit, kind of get more business stuff, and come back in and continue to help the profession. So yeah, so this year is going to be like a transition year for me. So I'm excited for 2022.
Well, congratulations on finding things that can inspire you and keep your torch lit.
That's right.
So let's close out today's episode and tell me a miracle story that you've seen in practice over the past decade.
Oh gosh, there's so many, as I'm sure everyone says that, but there's so many. I guess I look at like people that come in and they just can't walk, and they're just crying on your table. And, it's, that it's not as bad, like for an emergency situation. It's just, they're in a lot of pain. And you just look at them and you're going, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do what it takes. And, I mean, I remember, putting an adjustment on this guy's low back, and you get that big scream of like, oh, and then all of a sudden he can walk, and it's like, how freaking cool is the adjustment? Like, and you just, as a doctor, and of course, 10 years experience, you can handle these situations. But I mean, I was in my second year of practice and I was just like, I've been trained, I'm going to do this. And it just was awesome. So it was life-changing for him. I think another story I could share is just, and, a lot of people don't know that chiropractors are trained doctors. Like, we're always fighting that stigma. And I had a 14-year-old girl, chronic headaches. And, we were the last resort always, we're trying to change that.
Never heard that one.
Right. So I'm like, dang it. But she comes in and nobody's helped her. And I said, let me grab my ophthalmoscope. And I looked in the back of her eye and she's just got swollen vessels. And I'm like, I know what normal is, and that's not normal. So of course I immediately referred her out, and she had a pseudotumor behind her eye that was creating cerebrospinal fluid backup and headaches, and of course I'm going to still adjust her because I know she needs it. But, just, she brought me a cake and put Angel on it. I mean, she couldn't go to school. She couldn't function. And here we are just doing a little extra exam, making that connection for the patient, and, saved her eye. So pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Chiropractic is a powerful, powerful profession.
That's right.
So at this juncture, do you have any web addresses or resources that I can share with our audience if they want to get in touch with you or if they want some more information about you?
Sure. So our website is www.qoflchiropractic.com, and that's shortened for quality of life. So QOFL chiropractic.com. And we're in Magnolia, Texas, as well as Montgomery, Texas. So we're on the northwest side of Houston. I would love if anybody wants to come shadow our office or has any questions just about the profession, or maybe you heard something I said tonight that you can help me be a mentor. I'd love to hear from you, and you can email me through the website.
Awesome.
So, yep.
Awesome, Jamie. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being episode 323 of our Chiro Hustle podcast. Yeah. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to share with our audience tonight?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess for me, it's just, I just want to tell people out there that are chiropractors, please, keep going, even on the hard days or the tough patients or the low payment with insurance or any of the crazy stuff we have to deal with as, I don't know, I call ourselves the stepchild of medicine, but hopefully that day will change. We deserve to be here, and we deserve to help people. And, we're in this profession as givers, but we're also, we'll get a lot out of it too. So.
Well, you said something earlier, and I learned it from a friend of mine who started BNI, Ivan Meisner, and he said that givers gain. So you are so spot on, and chiropractic does give. They do love, and they do serve. And there is a lot of servant mindset within the chiropractic profession. And sometimes when you serve so high, you sometimes don't feel the reward. But then you think about that little girl's eye, and it all comes back in a full circle to you.
That's right. I'll always remember that for sure.
Well, thank you for being our guest tonight and sharing your story and inspiring our audience.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Well, I look forward to staying in touch with you, and thank you for being episode 323.
Woo-woo. Have a good night.
Yep, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.